Loud and clear.
I'm impressed. Discord is cooperating with us today.
Don't say it too loud. We don't want them to take it away.
Are you at home, Sol?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. No worries. Yours dropped out a tiny bit while we were in that last call. I don't know whether anyone else heard that.
Nope.
Oh, you know what? I see why. Hold on. Hopefully I don't lose you guys now. Better? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, sometimes I like to turn off my Wi-Fi. I don't know why. I find it 50-50 that Wi-Fi is better than 5G, and sometimes 5G is better than Wi-Fi at home. So
Yeah, I get that.
Same. Okay, what are we doing?
I just bought a separate Verizon internet just for my computer. It's wireless, it hooks up to a satellite, and it direct connects into my computer. It's my other, so I don't have to worry about the range of where I'm at in the house versus where the router is and all this stuff. Now I have this box that's shooting directly to a Verizon tower into my computer.
Quiet.
Welcome
I
to
don't
the
use my
party.
computer enough. Yeah, for that. Let's see. How are we doing? We have all the setup good to go. We do.
I need to get rid of my babongs. How do I get rid of my babongs
I have no
when the
idea.
notifications come through without turning off the volume? Anyone know real quick?
We don't hear them.
Oh, the
I don't
You don't
setting.
hear them?
No, we can't. But if it annoys you, you should be able to.
Oh no, that's
In
fine.
the
I just
settings.
didn't want it coming through the mic. That's fine. As long as it's not being heard. That's cool.
Although I kind of need you to say the babong thing again. 'Cause it's-
I think
I'm
we're
impressed
gonna
you
get
knew.
a babong right now.
I had no clue what he was talking about.
We're
Yeah,
gonna get these sound bites from
exactly is a
Dave for-
babong.
Do you not get it when a message comes through on live? It goes like ba-bong, ba-bong.
No, I get it, but the way you said it, it doesn't sound like that.
Oh my god,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
hilarious. I want to go over here.
I had to turn them off. I get so many all day from my alliance and whatever else. The little babongs, I drove me nuts. Yesterday or the day before, I'm just
what are the
I can't.
babongs? What are you talking about?
Like
The little
notification
notif-
settings that
every-
come through.
Every time somebody types something,
dying.
it's like ching, 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 or ding,
No,
ding,
no,
ding.
no, Jake, no.
Seriously? Is
Oh
that
my
even
god,
a setting?
I'm
I
Mine
removed that
confused.
a year ago.
Mine doesn't go.
Where is
Mine
it?
doesn't.
Where is it? Notifications.
It's in the audio somewhere.
Sounds.
Oh,
it's not in notifications.
You go to
That
setting
would-
notifications.
Here we go.
And then-
Message off.
That
Done.
would be annoying.
Disable all
Yeah, you're telling
notification
me,
sounds.
bro.
I'm
Can't believe
like,
you've been on Discord
crying.
that long and haven't done that yet.
But I've never, ever spent that amount of time in obviously voice settings. So, yeah, I've got rid of it now so I can keep my sanity.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna. It's one past, so we better get this show on the road here. We're having too much fun talking about badings. All right. Well, first and foremost, I want to welcome everyone to another Sunday live stage where we're going to cover the latest and greatest in our favorite game of Ants. Please, I want to remind the audience that you are more than welcome to hit the raise hand icon at the bottom of your screens, and we will bring you up on stage to answer any questions you'd like verbally, or type away your questions in the live chat channel, which our wonderful stage team is monitoring to answer any questions you guys may have. Also, please remember that we have a live ID channel. If you put your in-game ID into that channel, we will have our lovely fairies send you a nice little reward for participating in stage. And so, nice little gift that they'll wind up sending you. The live chat channel is open, and again, you can ask questions there or just chat away with us, and we'll be happy to go over that. Also, if you have any particular topics that you want us to cover during stage, or if you have any feedback or suggestions, please go to the Stage Topics channel here on official Discord, and we will cover those questions that are asked there on the very next live stage. And if you've missed a live stage and want to listen back to them, our wonderful video team here has set up a YouTube channel, and we also have it set up to where the rewind is on the stage portion of official Discord, so you can go back and listen into any of the stages that we've had in the past, and maybe grab the information that was provided during those. Thank you to the video team for setting that up for us. And with that, I am going to hand it over to our host today, the lovely Bug Gaming, to cover what we're going to cover today. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Sol. Yeah, so first I want to start off with the upcoming Ants collaboration, which is very exciting. And I don't know if you've seen it, but a couple days ago, maybe on the 6th of this month, Fairy sent out a survey in your mail in game. If you want, you can get rewards from providing feedback. So if you want, like, whatever you're into, whatever kind of collaboration you want, like Pokemon, transport, I don't know, anything, fill out the survey, you get rewards. The deadline is the 13th, and each game ID can only receive one reward, so don't try to post your Pokemon. And yeah, so, like, you know, I think the last one was the spider, forget his name, and then Godzilla.
Lucas.
So, you know, Lucas. So I don't know if anyone here wants to share in chat or raise their hand what kind of collab they want to see. I don't know what I'm leaning more towards, but I think something popular, another game that's popular that would pique interest in Ants because it's collabing with another popular game. And then we also have a meme challenge going on, and I don't know if any of you've seen any, or does anybody have any they'd like to share in chat? Any?
Well,
memes?
hold on, Bug, before you go further.
Yeah.
Did you do the survey?
Personally, I have not done the survey yet.
Okay. Anyone else on stage team do the survey?
Not yet.
Not yet, no.
Okay. So I did hop into it, and I did do the survey myself, but it is very telling. So I would highly recommend that you guys go and do the survey. And the reason I say that is because basically the survey goes through the, give me your game ID, and, would you like to see another collaboration, in game? And it actually gives about 6 or 7 suggested collabs that are in there. Okay. And then the next question is, are there any other collaborations that you would like to see happen in game? So if you look at the multiple choice one, and you can select more than one, but if you look at the multiple choice one, I think that is going to give a lot of the players that are participating in the survey a gist of what the next potential collaboration would be. Okay. So take a look at it, because to me, when I read the survey, I thought it was going to be, it's giving you an idea. Let me just put it that way, because it seems to be, I kind of, playing this game for so long, you kind of get an idea of what the collaborations have been. And to the point of what you mentioned about a lot of players putting something like Pokemon, the reality of the situation is that, Ants Underground, while popular amongst us in our community, in the general gaming community, the level of Pokemon loving people and people that play the game of Ants kind of makes it a very wide gap between those two being able to do a collaboration, just because of copyright agreements and stuff like that. So I don't think that's going to ever be something that we'll see in the game. Who knows? But if you look at the multiple choice options in there, those are more likely like on par collaborations that could happen. And
You guys spill the beans on the multiple choice? What were they?
go do the survey and find out, brother.
All right. I'll do that.
All
Everybody else, go check it out too.
So I don't know. Again, this is my opinion, and I could be totally wrong, but based on the ones that were in the multiple choice, I have a feeling that one of those will be the next collaboration. And I think that the reason that they're doing this survey is to see which one will be most successful, right? Like if it's popular amongst the players, that's why they put out the survey, then it will be one that the devs may lean more towards. And who knows if, the reason they put that next one of what other collabs would you like to see, who knows, maybe they're able to negotiate a collab with those things, like Charmaine wants Iron Man, so who knows. I wouldn't mind Iron Man insect leading my troop into battle. I already have Godzilla doing it, so Godzilla leading a bunch of ants into battle. So
you use it as a lead, do you? I only use it as a helper.
Yes. So go ahead and fill out that survey. It's only available for another 5 days or less. And if you want to get the collab you want, that's your opportunity to do so. And
Lassie, I don't think that they're going to. I don't think they'll ever do an actual insect as a collab again. I think it'll always be a skin going forward, because when Godzilla came out, they didn't have insect skins, so now they do. So I think going forward they will be skins during the collabs. Personal opinion here.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
When they did the collab with Godzilla, that was the very first collab that they did, and there were no insect skins at that time during the game. So
Right.
How did I make you a girl?
Okay.
Oh, did I miss? Sorry.
Godzilla died from the cringe.
I mispronounced. I'm sorry.
So the meme challenge is coming up. I don't have it. Does anybody have a date on when that's due?
The 13th, I thought.
Okay.
I'd have to double check though.
13. So about the same time as the survey.
Maybe I just mixed up the.
I have an ant meme I'm gonna post in chat. Let me see.
So yeah, the meme challenge is 1st of June to the 30th of June on there.
So anything funny, could be anything. I liked one of the memes that they kind of posted about, like my first week playing, you're like, yay, I got my pea watered. I got 300 diamonds. I can buy an 8-hour shield. Yay. And then like 2 years later, I just blew 200,000 diamonds on the VIP shop.
I'm not gonna lie.
Weekly.
I absolutely died laughing seeing that meme. It is so accurate. I actually wanted to hunt down who was responsible for creating that one. I mean, I know it's someone on our staff because they come up with some pretty funny ones, but that one hit spot on.
Yeah.
For an Ants player.
Yeah.
I think there's been some good ones that have been wasted in the past, haven't they? Like the free to play and the pay to win with the guy in between his fingers and things like that. There's been some really good ones that could have done well in this competition that have been kind of shared in the past. So
true.
The begging for water to get a 8-hour shield versus the blowing 200,000 diamonds in later game is just so true. It made me chuckle.
Yeah.
There were lots of great ones about the new lava scorpion too.
Oh no.
They're also negative as well, though.
I haven't seen
That would have
yet.
been my girlfriend if I bought the lava scorpion. So some of them I felt personally.
I heard somebody call it a lobster the other day. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a lobster meme.
Yeah. No, it does look a little bit like it, and I don't think either one of us can argue that, buddy. we just can't. Let's just admit it.
Hey, I'll take it over the bicolor beetle.
Yeah, for sure.
I love lobster. So there's the meme challenge, probably submission due around the same time within the next 5 days or so. Shoot that in, and I'm sure you'll get some kind of rewards for doing so. And
it's the 1st to the 30th that you've got for the meme challenge. I've put that into the live chat.
oh, thanks. Yeah. Okay, so a little bit more time on that one. Get more time to get creative.
For sure.
Oh, I wish I had that creative flair. You know, I'm gonna tell you something, Bug. Like your AI generated pictures and stuff are awesome. Just so you know, I mean, like, I wish I had even 1% of the creativity that I see in a lot of these posts that these players are doing. My mind doesn't work like that.
I can teach you. It doesn't take too long. The app does most of the work now, the way they have it. The technology grows so fast that it's like next month it's a totally different thing than the previous month.
Yeah,
It's easier just to ask you to make them for me.
Yeah.
Honestly, the hard bit comes when you start doing all the negative prompts and all the intermediate stuff in between the two. That's the hard part. The basics are pretty cool. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah. So yeah, looking forward to seeing the results on that last challenge for the showing your pet and like your drawing. I don't know when that'll be out, but I'm sure they'll release the results for that at some point in the future. And jumping to like in-game topics from the update. Curious to know if anybody's used this special ant reversion feature where you can use those blue exotics to revert, let's say like an 8-star to a 7-star or a 5-star to a 3-star. If for whatever reason you needed to free up exotics or whatever your game plan is for your setup, you got a new ant and you can't 8-star it, so you need to downgrade an 8-star to a 7-star and then swap those stars to your new awesome ant that you can 7-star. But I think that's, for me personally, something that I'm going to utilize as soon as I'm out of season, because I have some 8-star ants that aren't exactly meta any longer, while I have some new meta ants that I can 7-star. But I can't swap the 8 stars to an ant that I can only 7-star. I have to use this new special ant reversion to like basically downgrade it a star, and then go ahead and use the invertase to swap that 7-star with the other new ant that's meta.
Did they fix the revert cost?
Not to my knowledge. The revert cost would be the same as if you would revert from 0 to whatever level it's at.
So that's the thing that I think players need to be warned about a little bit. Because I don't even know if they plan on changing it or if they're going to. But like my thinking on it is, there's really no advantage to this system, because if you had to revert an insect, or if you had to revert an ant in the past, you would have to like basically revert it to 0 and then add the stars back onto it, right?
Yeah.
So my hope was that the reversion cost would lessen if you were bringing it to 4-star, you know, instead of reverting it all the way back and then just calculating the materials you're going to get back for 4-star. So really it doesn't change the cost. If you have an 8-star insect and you want to revert it down to 4-star, it's going to cost you the same amount of reversion material.
Yeah, but save your shed loading, honey and everything else.
Which, I mean, it's not technically wrong, right? Because you're reverting it but maintaining the level on it, so it's making it makes it easier. But I was hoping that the reversion cost would be less. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The actual material, the actual
But really, what the system is,
cost,
but really, what the system is doing is the reversion cost remains the same, but it's just giving you back only the material that you would get. It's allowing you to skip a step, but the reversion cost remains the same. So there's a little misunderstanding on how that works, but so players should know that this is how it works, right? Like the reversion cost is based on whatever star level the ant currently is at, and so it doesn't matter. It's not going to cost you less reversion material to utilize the system, but it is it's going to give you back less material because it's maintaining the ant at the star level you want to maintain it at.
Yeah.
You are still saving a huge amount of millions on the actual honey stuff to level that back up again. Because obviously previously you just lost it. It was gone. So
the kiwi honeydew is what you're saving on.
Yeah, you're saving a massive, massive amount on that alone. So, you know, you can downgrade it by 1 star and use it, and you haven't then got to spend millions and millions to get it back up to the 7 that you wanted it at to be able to use it. So you are saving a huge amount still.
Correct.
The degenerate shell cost is expensive, and but there are players like me who are desperate to or impatient, I should say, and will do that because, like in Duel of Special Ants, I have a meta guard set up that, you know, just hits harder than my Troop 1 carrier line. It just does. So I'm gonna have to swap stars around after season, and this is gonna give me the ability to do so.
Are degenerate shells one of the items that is a must grab for you guys in the quest to blow diamonds during VIP store opening?
Well, it is for a little bit.
until a point, until I get so many.
Yeah, exactly. I'd say till I don't need them anymore.
Well, when do you not need them anymore? There's always going to be a need in the future when you have a bunch of 8-star ants that are like become obsolete. Then you need to use them to transfer it to another at 22 degenerate shells per.
Yeah, so I mean, I buy them every week, but you can also, I mean, in VIP store, but you can also buy 3 of them for $10 every week as well. So I don't know. Let me see where I'm at with mine on my main.
I just grab them from the VIP store every week because.
So I don't have enough. I only have 15. I can't even down star an 8 to a 7. So I need to keep grabbing them.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Here goes a pack purchase as we speak.
Oh my.
We all pretty much do the same each week out of VIP. I mean that I've just chucked in chat. That's pretty much what I do week in, week out. So what's on that screen is a weekly purchase for me. I mean, I'm guessing you guys are kind of similar.
Oh man, I don't do the special ant invertase. I think I'd rather just spend $10.
The only
Oh,
one.
no?
Well, I don't buy the eggs because I think it's terrible. I don't buy the tertiary eggs myself.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Yeah.
And then I do not do the insect seaweed or whatever that is.
The resetting talents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have like 300 of them, and I don't reset the talents often enough to.
Yeah,
I mean, like, because I used to get it.
Comparable to the most of us.
No, the thing is, I used to get it all the time, right? Like, it was part of my whatever. But I don't find myself resetting the talents that often. Although I will tell you, there are players. Again, for me, it's too time consuming, but you know that could come in very handy because you could reset the talents to set it up for PvE, like on Groundhog, to get a higher score, right? I know a lot of players that do that. They'll every week they reset the talents on their insects so that it's focused towards PvE versus PvP, and then they reset it back to PvP.
Well, I know, Bug, you do it, every so often as well, whilst you're kind of finding the best talent trees, things like that. So, I mean, I do it because they're there if I need it. Sometimes someone comes up with a better talent tree than I put up, like when I've spoken to Bug about certain ones between, what were we looking at? The control resistance, weren't we, for example? So there's always conversations that come up where I think, okay, well, I'll try it this way. So I think they're just nice to have in the background. But I don't have 300.
I'm more like NIMS.
Okay, yeah.
That's kind of what I go for.
Well, and I think it changes too for me because if I've had like just hatched or just finished a T10 tree, and I'm, you know what I mean? It just depends on where my diamonds are sitting, what that looks like, if I've had to use them somewhere else for something, or I'm heading into season. And so like it changes, but that's kind of my basic go-to.
You know which one
that's
has
a minimum
become
for
less
every week,
important?
isn't it? That's a good standard, yeah.
So I will tell you this, okay? So like, if I were to rate these in order of like what I would go for, I would say 100% the exotic, bio, and lava cores, right? That is like 100%. I would even say the advanced teleport is 100%, right? Like I would always get those. The one that has become least important now for me is the class change card.
Yeah,
because I used to change class all the time so I could hit, like I would change to gatherer so I could hit SVS easier, right? But dude, it is so easy to hit now.
We just don't need it anymore.
You could just be raider, and like if you pre-gather for 10 hours, you're like almost
You're done.
5 stars just on
Yeah,
that.
easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even 8 or 9, I think, pretty much.
Yeah.
Is in between the final reward and the second to last, isn't it? So,
Yeah, so I have still continued to grab those class change cards, but it's becoming less relevant because you can, you know, if you're a player like me that likes to stay in Raider and, you know, hit the and can still easily hit the 9 shells on Gathering Day.
Yeah, agreed. Same. My purchase of that has dropped off very steeply. I do use it sometimes for gathering or for Alliance Expedition, though.
Yeah, exactly. I do the same thing, right? So sometimes I'll utilize it.
I was gonna say I only have about 9 in my inventory, so I like to keep like less than 10, around 10. So that's why I purchased it this time, because I like to have it on hand. But I don't change out of Raider like ever, except I'm thinking about putting some effort into my herder when we get back on server, just for fun.
God.
But I haven't touched it. Like, it's sitting at like 0. So
we're back to the herder conversation.
I'm so burned by herder, like you have no idea. So, you know, in early game, the goal was always to can we get our server to gold? Can we get our server to gold? And we were looking at the older servers and like, how are you guys getting it to gold? How are you guys getting it to gold? And they're like, herder. We all push herder. And I'm like, what do you mean you all push herder? Well, yeah, because there's, you know, more points that you can earn during SVS with the certain features of herder. So of course, like, we started pushing herder, and then the game evolved into seasons and needing super strong raider classes to gain a little bit of extra whatever. So anything I put into herder class to me now all of a sudden is like, that's what a person that has a farm does, like bump up their herder class so they have a ton of honey.
Yeah, the honeydew outfit. Yeah.
So that way you can extract honey off of that onto your main.
I'm just checking my herder now. No, as predicted, my herder is 0.
Nim.
Same.
Nim.
Actual 0.
Yes.
Nim. When you get that herder class up a lot, please pour it into my server so I can farm the honey off of yours.
You know what? I always have these good intentions of like doing things, and then you get sort of done your event and you don't.
I actually was having this discussion with one of my friends that plays the game, and I'm like, I'm at the point in my Raider class that it's like, I don't even know why I'm chasing it any further for construction. It's just ridiculous, right? Like, I think I'm at 186 or 187 Raider class, right? And
speaking of somewhat,
what's
sorry,
that?
I was going to say, speaking of somewhat ridiculous, there's a new update that seems very hard to reach.
I know what he's talking about.
The
The advanced talent tree and ascent trees.
Yeah, man. I'm like thinking I'm a big shot at level 79 or something like that. And I am like, cool, new insect feature. But
And then
nope.
back down to earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all like, who sees it? No one.
Yeah, like, so we have some images or whatever of what it looks like and all that, but you have to be at a level, your insect has to be a level 100 in order to utilize the advanced talents or ascent features. And then kind of the same thing.
Now.
So if you're, along the lines of a Mega Whale player like that, you'll probably see, or benefit from max level of soldier reform limit being increased to 60, which I'm nowhere near. Well, I guess I'm at 40-ish, so I'm kind of there, but it'll probably take me years to get to 60. So just wanted to throw that in there. And then also wanted to talk about what your people in the audience, what experience are you having with this new-ish R6 tower destruction feature in season? Are you guys having any issues with it? Has it caused you guys any problems, or has it been more beneficial to you in any way? Does anybody want to chime in and chat or raise their hand or anything?
I mean, I'll jump in quick and say no issues, but our season has been probably about as placid as I've ever seen a season. So no, not had any issues. Maybe because our camp leader is our alliance leader, so it could have been maybe worse if they weren't. I don't know, but everyone seems pretty kind of okay and amicable. So yeah, maybe I'm one of the lucky ones.
Probably, yeah.
So there have been a number of complaints that I can tell you that have hit, and there's also events that it's happening in that maybe people aren't being as vocal about. But just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a recap, prior to the update where R6s, as they're commonly known, but camp leader is the proper term, given the ability to destroy any of their camp towers. The way it worked, or the way it was before that update, team R5s and officers were the only ones that could destroy their towers. Okay, maybe an R4 can an R4 also?
R5.
No, R5 and officers I think can also. Yeah. So R5 and R4s can place any towers, I think, and then R5s and officers can destroy one of their own towers, like self-destroy one of their towers. So like basically the way it would work is, your team builds towards whatever they're building towards, and if you needed, like, if a campmate needed to get by your lines, so they're not wasting towers, they would just ask the R5 of the other team or one of the officers, and they would destroy the tower, and a countdown would begin. I think it's 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, too long either way, wasn't it? But...
Yeah, whatever. It takes 15 minutes for the tower to destroy, and then the team can build through, and you guys can do your camp goals. Well, one of the issues that would arise is maybe an R5 gets into an argument with another R5, and all of a sudden you do your thing, we're going to do our thing, we don't care about you, you don't care about us, or we're going to lose this event, so whatever, we're going to chase after blank buildings, and funky stuff would happen on these events where teams would block another team from entering into the tree area to fight because they wanted to sabotage the event, or I mean, honestly, I saw it where one team, there were two teams from the same server that they're friendly teams, they're on opposite camps, and so the one team purposely sabotaged the entire event for the other camp by blocking off every single path towards the tree. So
we've got Sket who wants to come up, so if I chuck him up, he's probably got an opinion on what's happened in his.
Okay, bring him up.
Oh, there's the hand. Okay.
Or maybe not.
Should be coming. Invite sent.
All right. While we wait for him, hey Scott.
There's a new accept from the last time I was on stage.
Mm-hmm. You're not automatically done anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, so with the tower destruction, it's also tunnel and ferry, the same.
Yeah.
So it can be really good if you...
the R6 can release the tunnel. You're talking like in barren land, right? Or wet.
Well, I'm on wetland right now, and
yep.
so you can release. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm on the new one.
Wetlands.
Yeah, wetlands. Yeah. Yeah, on jungle it's different because
it destroys them.
Disappear. Yeah. But yeah, so you can destroy you can make the ferries and the tunnels unoccupied again, as well as destroying of towers. Now, if your teams are doing really good together, it's kind of a way to keep your teams good together. Because if you start going off on your own as an alliance without your team, you start doing things that your team's not agreed to, then, you can get stopped. But it also can be really good, because the R6, as you say, can destroy instantly. So, like, for tunnels and ferries and such, like tunnels when you're passing through to a new area, you can destroy the tunnel instantly rather than it taking the 15 or the 30 minutes, whatever.
Correct.
The way their ability to move forward, because you can literally destroy their connection to where they want to go. So it helps in some ways, definitely, I think.
It definitely helps, but then there's also you can't, if you're the R6, you can't destroy your own tunnel, ferry, or tower instantly, but you can do it with others, which is a bit weird.
The towers. You can destroy your own towers with the feature instantly. But I don't know about an R6 can destroy their own tower instantly using the feature, but I don't know about the dismissal of the tunnels and the ferries. I don't think I've ever had
still takes the 15 minutes or whatever it is. It's not instant, and I've tried looking all over for a way that it could be instant. And no. If it's your alliance and you're the camp leader, you can't do it.
No, Soul, if you could dismiss yours instantly, it would that would give you a huge advantage in game. You could literally just reclaim everything back instantly. Do you know what I mean? So I think you're still tied to the time limit for your own, and then it's instant.
Oh, are you talking about unbuilt towers though?
No, I'm built towers as R6. I mean, I don't know, unless they changed it during one of the updates, but when I was R6 of my alliance, I know I could delete, because I tested it out when the feature was released. I could delete a camp's tower instantly, a campmate's tower instantly, and I could delete my own towers instantly.
It's the same.
Using the camp feature. But I didn't test the dismissing of a tunnel or ferry, only because there was really no need for that. Like on the event.
I think the need that we have obviously is like when the tunnels open, reset.
Yeah,
you want to get in the tunnel
quickly with your campmate, so you dismissed it immediately. So
but if it's your own, you can't do it. It still takes the 15 minutes or the 30 minutes, whatever it is.
Yeah, you still got the countdown.
So here's the point in why we're discussing this though. So we all know that the reason that the feature was implemented was because, like I said, there were so many events that players were, how should I say it, purposely sabotaging their camps' ability to move around the map. Okay, so the solution that the devs came up with to prevent that was give the R6 the ability to delete towers so that other teams in the camp can go through.
It can be a great thing, but you've got to be looking out. You shouldn't be creating too many enemies within your allied forces, you know. But Thanks for letting me up on stage, guys.
Thank you,
No
and thanks
worries,
for coming
yeah.
up.
Thanks,
Thanks,
man.
Hopefully I'll come up again
Appreciate it.
sometime. See you guys later.
See you later.
Later.
So, what we're seeing now that this has been implemented across a number of different events is the opposite. So, what is happening is that tool was introduced by the development team in order to allow teams to pass through where they would have like a rogue team in their camp decide to block paths and stuff like that. So that was the solution that was brought up. Well, now having that ability in the R6's hands has created a new problem that we've seen across a couple different events where the R6 now is utilizing that feature to potentially ruin the season for a specific team. So I kind of want to, feel free to either, post here in the live chat or whatnot, but just from what we've seen on some social media channels and also what we've seen in complaints that are coming in through official Discord, it's even happening on my event that I'm currently on. I'm on a vast jungle that we are pretty much dominating, and one of the teams on the opposite camp has kind of realized that there's no chance of them winning, while the other two teams are like, oh, we have to keep trying. And so the other team decided to try to fight the other alliance that I'm not in, right? Because our alliance is like the harder alliance to get through. So they want to focus on more of the, our campmate, because both of their teams are similar in server range and similar in they're actually in the same server range, and they're also teams that have faced each other, and honestly there's some like friendships there as well. So the accusation from the other two teams of that camp is that you guys are just sitting there farming champ points and fighting for no reason, and that's going to affect their overall camp scores champion points. So what they started doing is the R6, every time they would connect to the other team, delete the tower, right? So that they're basically preventing those two teams from fighting it out, because honestly, rightfully so, from the R6's position, is you're affecting, by not playing strategically or following the plans that we are coming up with, not only are you giving up on the event, but you're also farming champion points from the other team that's easier to fight. And so thus you're kind of affecting all the players of the camp, because they're going to be getting more champion points and kills as well, as Oreo mentioned. So kind of, I don't know, what is your guys' opinion on that? Like, is that taking it a bit too far? There's another event too that I know of that the one team is holding a grudge against their campmates alliance to the point that they're like deleting the tower, not allowing them to fight at all, right? They're every time they try to move around or whatever, the R6 is deleting the tower, from the beginning. And that was purely because the players on one team were, both teams used to be on the same server, and there was they're like hatred for the two teams, and so they're like literally just deleting the towers to prevent them from having a season. So you know,
What-
I know
what's
that's
everyone's-
happening, and then
What's everyone's kind of version of how it could be better, or what's kind of everyone's opinion on what they would like to see? Anyone in the audience? Bug, Nim, Jake, anyone?
There was an interesting comment made in chat, but I think I lost it. Oh, it's why so complicated? Why don't the bridges and gates simply become blue or red? So it would be an interesting concept to, like, say your color in your home area is your color, but once you get to the joint action areas, it just becomes blue or red team, so that you can all use the same like hometown advantage, I guess would be the term.
Yeah,
That would
be
the
an
gates
interesting
are not
concept.
Having each one connected, it's a shared thing. So like,
And that way you can all protect the team's towers, and you could all heal them as well.
I'll take that idea to the next level.
Yeah.
Do you know what I would like to see for the next event?
Nope. What?
I would like to see a camp versus camp where they act as one team. It's literally one whole team of 300 players versus 300 players. So kind of like a Barren Land, where it might be two teams or two camps against each other, but the camps are actually one team. So like they said, one set of towers is blue, one set of towers is red, and you know that it would be like Oreo mentioned, an entire battle royale, because then you could have 300 players fighting against 300 players.
Oh yeah.
R4 and R4, R5s would remain the same on the teams because you're managing so many more players, and then R6 would be voted in by the three teams. But it would be a great event where you would have, you know, like there's like all towers, everything of the camp are shared amongst the entire team. So
Yeah,
That
that'd
would
be
be
pretty cool.
amazing.
I think
but
that'd
the
be pretty
thing
cool.
is, like, what my fear is because of, like, I'm telling you, like, I see the complaints coming in on how R6s are abusing this tower destruction capability, and like they literally are ruining it for an entire team, right? Like in some of these cases, right? So the problem I foresee happening is that the devs will take that ability away from the R6, or, you know, is there a solution that would be better? Like maybe
limit
not
it to
be able
towers,
to delete,
tunnels.
maybe not be able to delete 10 towers, maybe only be able to delete 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know, but you know, right now I think they're able to delete 10 towers a day. So if you can only build 12 towers a day, that means that they could theoretically destroy almost an entire day's worth of builds. Actually, I think I saw fuel in this. I saw fuel in the thing. I think he's on the event that I'm hearing that the R6 of his camp is purposely sabotaging it, just for the simple fact that he doesn't like the other team, and I think it's been starting from the beginning. So he would know more than me if he wants to mention it in the chat. But it is definitely, his event is not the only one. Like I said, in my own event, 2 of the teams including the team that holds R6, is purposely deleting the towers of the team that's going after our campmate. And so I don't know, it kind of sours these events a little bit, because at the end of the day, you know, it is the responsibility, you know, R6s are voted in, right? And it is kind of the responsibility of them to maintain the you know, how can I word it, I guess, the spirit of the game, right? Like, I mean, you know, that feature,
the
I
guys
think,
have put in chat as well, so they put in there, like, the other alliances, you know, we vote for R6. So, you know, the officers jump in, they vote for R6, it's all agreed. If that person then decides to, you know, turn turncoat, change their way of playing, or get butthurt over something ridiculous, the officers should be able to go in and re-vote. That's one of the best suggestions I've seen, because that negates any need of change in the game, any need of change for the actual mechanic itself, because the mechanic is solid. It is needed. So,
But a revote wouldn't solve a lot of the situations.
why
okay?
not? It would take away all of them.
Well, because here's the problem with revotes. Okay, first off, like in my own event that I'm seeing this happen in, 2 of the teams are in agreement against the third team, and the third team simply just has given up on the event. You know, they've exhausted their stamina, they've exhausted it, and they fought like for most of the event. I'm not going to say they didn't try, because they have tried. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like they didn't try, but they're realizing that they cannot win the event. So it's impossible for them to win, and they realize it. The other team also realizes, like all 3 of Blue Camp realize that they're not going to be able to. I mean, to give you guys an idea, we're on a Red Camp team that has taken over almost every wonder in the the old environmental areas that were part of Blue Camp and whatever. So like we're going far out. We're not going, like they can't break into the Clash, and in Vast Jungle you have to be able to break into the Clash in order to get to the tree. So they have not been able to successfully do that. So all 3 teams realize that they're not going to win the event. Okay. So what is happening now is one team's like, well, we don't even want to spend resources and stuff that we could use for our next event. So we kind of want to chill, but we still kind of want to fight. So we're in position to fight the non-dominant team on the event. And so that's what they were trying to do. And then the R6 is like, no, you have to follow our plan or you're not going to do anything, because otherwise you're just farming champion points, which he's got a legitimate point there. Okay. But the thing is, they're never going to be able to outvote them, because 2 of the teams are in agreement that they're to delete the towers. So, a revote wouldn't work in the situation that I'm discussing. And then the other factor is this, okay? A revote will not help in a situation where it's like Red Camp, for example, where there's 2 teams. You can't win a revote, because if it's a tie, the tie goes to the more powerful alliance. So when there's a situation where it's 4 teams or 2 teams or whatever, whoever is the and I've been in that situation. We were in an event where the R5 wanted the R6 position and we wanted the R6 position. Okay. And so, I told all my officers, vote for us to get it. And all of their officers voted for them. And since we were the stronger team, we wound up getting the R6.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
And I'm conscious of time, Bug.
yeah.
Okay. And then there's the other aspect that Newton just brought up, that they revoted the R6, but the damage is already done, and they've, their event is unrecoverable. So that, like, what I heard happened in the event that Newton is talking about is like legit. Their camp probably would have won the event if it wasn't for the damage done by that R6, and because of how far back they are, they're probably. I don't think they're going to win the event, and also, I mean, it destroys the morale of not just the team but the camp, right? So, like, if you're dealing with all this BS during a season, it's something you don't want to continue pushing in that season. So, it's definitely something that I feel needs to be addressed one way or another.
Yeah.
Nim, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be addressed. I think that there's options, but there's always room for improvement on events. And there's always players out there to find ways to exploit those improvements, sometimes to the detriment and sometimes to the better of players. I do know that we still had a few things to cover on Bug's list of talking points that he wanted to cover. So I want to make sure we hold space for them to continue
Actually,
on their journey.
Oreo, they can. R4s, R5s, any player in this game can contact the fairy in game. Just so you guys know.
Yeah. So speaking of,
I don't know if you guys,
concerts,
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but if you go into the GM, contact GM in the game, a lot of people miss that. But I'll post.
yeah, while you're posting that, I'll bring up another topic. I'll skip over quickly. There's a quick emoji feature. I'll just post it. You can post them faster. It doesn't require as many clicking of buttons to post an emoji while you're marching. But then going back to like season stuff, I was really, really excited about auto heal and auto replenish. But just want to caution everybody about auto heal in that it does not use healing speed ups first. It uses your universal, general, regular speed ups that you could otherwise use for hatching ants on ant hatch day first. So if you have auto heal on, you're going to get to ant hatch day and go, where's all my speed ups? Auto heal, I also tested out and took it off because I couldn't hit the auto replenish button and fill all of my troops if they were below a certain number. I had to manually go in and slide the bar of each line of troops, and obviously taking more time for me to get to a tower, so I've had both of those features off. I have seen in the history of some reports where the auto heal has used healing speed ups. However, I'm assuming those people have already burned through their general speed ups, and then the game will go after that to your healing speed ups, which is kind of the opposite of the way I think it should work.
100%.
I got scared of it because I mean it's a parallel, but like I've gone to make a whole bunch of T10s and then suddenly I'm out of stuff very quickly, like diamonds. And so anything that does stuff like that automatically, I like to watch it get tested out first for the very reason of you do not want to wake up and suddenly something you thought you had isn't there anymore. So I was like, this looks cool, but I mean, for the extra 3 seconds it takes me to auto heal, like heal them myself, I'd rather just stick with that.
And it is, isn't it? 3 seconds, if that. Mm-hmm. It's like,
so I mean, I like the idea of it because like for me it's, I don't know how many times I've sent troops and my troop lines weren't full because you're moving too fast for yourself. But
well, hold on.
One time when you've got not a single soldier in a row.
This doesn't that. I don't like the fact that, like, have you ever been in a battle where it kills all the troops in one line and then you have to like drag troops back up to it?
Yeah.
Well, they fixed that, didn't they?
No.
I've
still had it happen to me where it should automatically never let, like, one troop should remain in the line during battles. Always.
Yes. I would rather see that than this auto replenish heal thing myself personally.
And I don't even know, did they fix it where it was taking general speed heals?
Not yet. Not that I've seen.
Okay.
I haven't tested it though. Have you, Bug or Fox or anyone else?
Yeah, this is literally what we've just said. So it isn't your healing speed ups it's using initially. It's using your universal speed ups, which then prevents you having universals for your colony actions, for, you know, your ant hatching day, for anything else that you want to use them for. So it's been engineered in the opposite way to how we need it to be used. And then the auto replay, and I think is based more around War of Kings. You think back to like doing War of Kings so often, you used to come back with half marches. Do you remember? When you send them, you get half troop marches come back. So I think they've based it around kind of that mechanic. Whereas in season, that's not how you get it come back. It's kind of backline fully empty in a lot of cases. And then that does not auto replane your soldiers, because like Sol said, you need one soldier there for the auto replane to take effect. So it's a good start, but it needs tweaks. I think that's kind of the best way of looking at it. So
Yeah, and I'm not going to trust it until I see an update from Fairy that says they're updating it. I'm not going to even try testing it.
agreed.
I use my regular speed ups for Ann Hatch Day for my special, day. Like I have 3 Ann Hatch days, so I need all of them.
Yep. We all need it, because who wants to be gathering? We all know this.
The bane
Let's
of my
hear now.
existence.
Yeah. Okay,
Still.
so good and bad, but I don't think for us to farm the healing speed ups to be able to use in season, it's any good for any one of us, really, is it? Let's be real.
Something happened to the stage. They're saying that they can't hear us.
Oh,
For real?
Uh-oh.
Oh wait, no, now. Oh, I guess it's back.
Yeah.
sorry, I was checking stuff. I was looking at my list, so.
Bug.
Can you hear me now? Check.
Well, they can
that.
hear the 3 of us, so.
I'm lighting up on the screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, they can hear.
yeah.
They can hear Bug, Nim, and Fox.
Yeah, we're good.
Hello?
Okay.
But I know you
So-
guys also wanted to cover more because was the auto replenish that it was Pango rewards. I didn't really notice.
So Pango rewards. I was confused at first. I thought, like, did they change the tiers? Did they change? So it's your personal rewards from Pango boosted up to an extra, I think, 4 or 8 reform boxes, if I'm not mistaken. I had a chat with somebody about it. I thought they adjusted the tiers from like 1 through 10, 10 through 50, 50 through 100 for the rewards, but it's just for your personal rewards that you receive from your own scores. So if you peak 100 million, you get an extra 4 reform boxes. If you peak, I think 40 or 4, whatever the numbers are. So basically, you're just getting more rewards from doing Pango.
Yeah, before it was like maxing out, whatever the max you could get. But now I noticed that as well.
I
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah, I didn't notice it either. I maxed out the rewards, but I was like, oh, the tiers. Okay, that's interesting. So throwing more tiers in there. But Pango's one of those things, like the tiers to me almost don't really even matter, because the difference in tiers, like if you rank top 10, or if you rank 10th or 49th, the difference in what you get is like 5 reform boxes. So it's almost like, do you really want to focus on being really heavy Pango scorer, or do you want to focus on, more like Groundhog in your main and just get something decent for rewards from Pango, which is kind of where I'm leaning.
Yeah, I've never bothered. Like you say, now they've got the reform boxes for finishing your activities every day. I mean, you're getting an extra load that you never used to get before anyway. So 4 boxes, I don't know. Is it really worth it?
Right, as far as the tiers go, I don't think so. But a lot of people get, hung up on like, oh, I want to be, top 10, or I want to be, within the top, this tier below that. And it's like, or the tier below that. And it's like, all right, well for what? 5 more boxes?
Bubbles.
Okay.
I forgot. It's the bubbles bug. The bubbles.
Oh,
bubbles.
the bubble.
That's what it is. It's the
I don't need the bubbles.
Oh dear. Hey, look, I've got a really good PvE account. Okay. What was on your list next, bud? I can't remember. Sorry.
You guys wanted to talk about insect hatching, and then Crystal Mine Revenge were on the list. So we're going to go over time for all of you in the audience, because I think it's important to let Fox and Bug finish up what they've put work into discussing. So bear with us and appreciate you being here.
Okay, yeah. So
your insect unhatch.
Yeah, so you can unhatch an insect after it's like halfway through the hatching process. You can tell whether or not it's a golden insect, a purple, or a blue, and you can do it about 3 times a day. Now, if you do this 3 times a day, the way the math works out statistically, 1 out of every 50, and they say this in game, 1 out of every, or they say 2.27% chance of hatching a 1-star gold insect, which translates to 1, and I'm going to drop this in the chat right now, about 1 in 50. So within a 4-week period, if you did this every single day, you can get enough 1-star gold insects by unhatching 3 times a day and rehatching. By the way, you get all of your fodder back except for about 120 of your fodder, so you're saving a ton of insect fodder. And you can get about a 4-star or better gold insect every 4 weeks from doing this. Unhatching and rehatching, unhatching and rehatching, unhatching and rehatching. So if you're struggling to get your insect from like a 8-star to a 9-star to a 10, whatever star, you know, you want to get it to, this is a great way to get free gold insects because you're just playing the statistics. Because 1 in 50 has to be a gold. That's what the game statistics says. Mm-hmm. So I've done the math for you already ahead of time. That means you're going to get a free 4 gold star insect every 4 weeks by doing this. If you do it 3 times a day, unhatch, rehatch. So that's all I have on that.
I think that was the thing, wasn't it? We were talking about it, and I think once you get to a point where, you know, you're not hunting your purples, you're not hunting your blues, and you can get to that stage kind of relatively quickly because, you know, your 7 or 8 purples or 7 or 8-star purples, you can swap out for a 3 or 4-star gold, and you're already hitting bigger numbers. So you can get there quite early game, to be fair. So it's kind of a choice on whether or not you chase down those purples all day long and keep building those up, or, you know, you just get your helpers that you need and then you start chasing your gold. So it was like super interesting, you kind of coming up with that analogy, because it is a statistic. It is a game advertised percentage. So you have to hit that statistic for it to be a genuine figure. You have to be able to get that gold insect every time within the statistic.
Hey, bud.
So,
can you share a screenshot of your queen?
My queen?
Yeah.
Yeah, that girl you've been dating lately. She's a queen.
No, I'm curious because I kind of have a theory here. Like,
just
zoom out
queen.
a little bit, but like, yeah, the queen and whatever buildings you have around it.
No, I'm doing a secret thing. I don't want to give away a secret I'm doing.
Oh, come on!
You can't.
All right,
You
fine.
gotta pay to look inside his hive.
I bet you. Here, I'm going to guess it. His hive probably has a BG in it.
So
that's what I wanted to see. So I was saying that I bet you that when you look at a person's in their hill or whatever, that they have like those that have the insect nests all around their queen are probably more successful at doing this, right? Because you're paying attention whenever you log into the game to the insects, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of a little side thing that, like, hey, you know, if someone's taking the time to do this, their insects are probably very close to their queen, because it would make you realize that whenever you log in, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I can.
It's a great strategy. It is a great strategy.
The halfway point.
Lie. It's just very time consuming.
I'm testing out a new theory where I showed in a second picture. I'm detaching the nest with a gold insect in it and not hatching it. So last week I hatched 3 gold insects, 2 1-stars and a 2-star by not hatching the gold when it popped up and detaching it and hoping that the game doesn't recognize that it's hit that statistic of 1 in 50 and just kind of playing with it. But I don't know if it officially works yet or not.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
That's really interesting. I love
See,
that.
Yeah, I never
honestly,
would have thought of that.
This is the stuff I love. Like learning in this game, like different strategies that, like, I bet you 1% of the players in this game wouldn't even imagine.
Literally the same reaction that I had to it when we were talking about it. Like, why would you even consider detaching it? But this guy has already orchestrated it in his brain. He's like, hey, what if? You're like the king of what if, bro.
I'm too lazy for what if.
No, you're not. Come on. What if you paired those heels with a nice pair of jeans? What if?
No.
It's always what if. Life
No,
is what
it's
if.
literally not. I'm way too lazy and easy for that. It's yoga pants and a sweatshirt every day.
Well, I'm going to tell you a simpler one that my friend actually shared with me that actually worked once I tested it, and I was so shocked. Okay. But in the meteorite evolution where you have the two things going or whatever.
Yeah, like
task dispatches or whatever. He would leave the lowest one blank. He would not dispatch to that lowest one. Okay? And the only time he would do the lowest one is when he was forced to, because there were two of them. And it actually gave him higher chance to get higher dispatches.
Right, like the gold with the extra rewards.
Correct.
Cool.
The top tier one is limited per week, so that doesn't matter. You're going to automatically get, I think, 2 of those a week.
Mm-hmm. But the purple.
Okay. But you get more of the purple ones if you purposely skip the lowest one until you're forced to at the end.
Huh. Got it. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to try that out.
Yeah. So,
everyone runs into meteorite tasks.
But again, it's one of those things that are like, how did you even think to test that? Like, I'm like, dispatch, whatever. And the way I was doing it is I was so when he mentioned that was the case, I'm like, okay, I'm going to test that. So I tested it for like 3 weeks, and he was absolutely correct. He wound up getting a little bit more material every week because he was skipping basically, what is it, 2 leaves or whatever, I think is that lowest one, or 3.
2, then 3, isn't it? Yeah.
So I think it goes like 2, 5, and 10 or something, whatever it was. But he would get more of the 5s per week by purposely skipping. You're only doing one task dispatch at a time. And then when both of them were the lowest one, he would only run one of them. And then the next dispatch. And so, yeah, like it actually works. So you
see what you get. Just see what you get, guys. When you stay till the end, we save all this juicy stuff. So all the other 67 people that were here earlier, sorry.
No one else is going to tell
I think there's just such big personalities here too, and so much good information that sometimes I feel like an hour is just not long enough to give everybody a chance.
Right.
But now I know, Fox, you wanted to look at the Crystal Mine Revenge, which is another thing I'm too lazy for.
Yeah, do you know what? It's only going to be a quick thing. It's just obviously where I'm rebuilding my kind of alliance back home. I've been speaking to my guys and kind of trying to get them to understand certain other areas that need doing if you want to get the max amount of reward. So I think we're looking at about 100,000 a week we need to get in Crystal Mine to be able to max everything that you would want to get out of it. It's between 90 and 100,000, right, guys? Something around there?
200,000.
Yeah, so that'll be fine, right, in a week.
200,000 is what I blow every week in the mine store.
200,000, but that you wouldn't. That would be all of your resources and sand and everything else. I mean, I do 100
not.
and get
I
everything
don't get
done.
any of the RSS, but I get almost everything else.
Okay, so I do roughly about 120,000 every week. So I don't care about the ranking, but doing it every week consistently does make sure that you don't have to worry, and also that you don't have to then spend part of your next week's crystal in clearing out the rest of the bits in the store that you didn't get. So we all know it's kind of super important now that the things that you get in there are kind of really relevant to your game. Well, resources aside, I guess. But I just wanted to kind of go through the amount that people are actually not getting or kind of just wasting if you don't do kind of your revenge when you get an option to do it. So if everyone was doing this every single week, I mean, I've just posted a couple of images in there. This is on top of your normal going in, plundering mines, you're recalling, you're using up your 5 attacks after your shield comes off. This is in addition to that and is then system generated back into your account. So for each week, I'll probably clear another 20 or 30,000 just from plundering the revenge people, over and above going in and just monitoring when I can go and clear more crystal out of normal plunders. So if you do sort of struggle each week on getting enough resources or enough crystal to get the resources you need, and those leaves and things like that are in there are kind of super important, just remember that kind of revenge list is the best way for you to get a lot more back. So the troop doesn't change. The person you're attacking or avenging is still the same person. They've not had a chance to beef up their squad. It's the exact same troop that, only just beat you last time. So you'll get to know the people you can beat. You'll get to know the people that you can't beat, because I don't know why, but we all seem to be hitting the same sort of people week in, week out, randomly. Maybe because you're at a higher number, so you always attack the people that you know are going to have got to that number and been able to stay secure. But revenge, just as a kind of hot tip for this week, is please just start having a look at your revenge and don't kind of throw away that 20,000 crystal that is in those screenshots there. It's kind of super key.
Fox,
Yes,
do you know the strategy to game the system?
the strategy to game the system.
Yes. If you want to talk about investing time in how to game the mines,
Mm-hmm.
So
your half hour, your recall, your plunder, you get a chance back, go back into revenge, back into the mine, and just keep playing the two off of each other.
But there's a more advanced strategy to doing that.
Go on then, let's hear it.
At reset, you hit your first person and make sure that everyone can set their own limit. Like me personally, it's about 5,700 crystals gathered. So I'll search through, hit 57 or 5,700 or higher crystals gathered. Okay. Mm-hmm. 30 minutes later, I hit the next person. 30 minutes later, the next person. 30 minutes later, the next person. Blow through all 5 of my plunders. Then you drop to T2s and you go and gather in the mine. And then you let another player, they're going to knock you out at some point, but you have to have your notification turned on when you're knocked out of a mine. And then you just go and auto-fill into another mine, autofill into another mine, autofill into another mine, and you're going to realize that weaker and weaker players are knocking you out, right?
Yeah.
Well, then you go back and you revenge, like wait a week or whatever, and then boom, nail all those people with your strongest march and gather all those.
So you're revenging lower level players, and using that 1 week to clear up all of your crystals.
Correct. Oh man, I am so lazy because I barely ever revenge in my.
I stopped doing that. But that, if you want, and the only reason I stopped doing that is I can gather enough crystals just by normal play that I have a nice cushion. But I have I have a floating inventory of 1 million crystals and mines because of doing that. Okay, so I have a floating.
Sounds better for the people that are kind of slightly lower level or are kind of worried about not being able to revenge. That system that you've just kind of laid out is kind of key for them. So even the kind of lower level, you can actually build a revenge list that you can revenge later down the line at any level. So that is probably a massively, massively good thing for the people that, aren't at the upper end of power, just to start building a revenge list. End of every week, go clear up your crystal. So, no, I appreciate that, dude. That's awesome. I run it kind of 120, about 120k a week. And I'm fine. That clears everything out, bar, the sand and whatever else. So, but yeah, just revenge. Please, please, please don't ignore your revenges. It's there for a reason. And the person you hit never gets notified. They do not know that they've been revenged by you. You're not going to generate enemies. You're not going to have people come chasing you down in the mines. Is anonymous. Do not do your revenge.
And they don't lose crystals.
Hold on. Yeah. I will also share another very important thing when it comes to the revenge in mines. Okay, it should be done on Fridays.
When you're on server.
Don't yet.
Okay. And the reason I say that it should be on Fridays when you're off event is because that is War of King. And what happens is the percentage is very much higher that you are going to be able to revenge a player that, you may not have been able to revenge, because a lot of players like to farm their speed heals, so they drop all of their mutations in order to farm speed heals. And if you happen to get lucky and hit that player as he's farming speed heals, all their mutations are done.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good day. It is the best day by far. And then you can be me some Fridays and then go and try and kill everybody whilst you've got your stuff turned off.
I mean, honestly, like you said, the players don't get notified. It's not like they know that they got hit. And myself personally, if anyone messaged me like in Discord or anything like that, like, hey, are you farming speed heals, or drop your mutation so I can revenge you? I used to do that back and forth with. I mean, we can even take it to the next level if you really want to, and say, have your farm do it, right? Like, hit yourself in the mines with your farm. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I do that.
So, like, I mean, I'm just saying there's a lot of ways to game the system, but like, if a player ever messaged me and said, hey, when are you planning on dropping your mutations to farm speed heals? Oh, on this date, so I can revenge you in mines. Okay, yeah, go ahead, whatever.
Kind of a nice team up across the community, yeah.
If I was in the same range, Soul, I'd do that just so I could have the battle report of me beating you.
Print it off and frame it on your wall.
But I swear to God, I log into stage thinking I've got like the game figured out, and then there's stuff you guys talk about, and I'm like, I don't do that. Oh, yeah. No, and I spend the rest of Sunday like revamping stuff because I'm like, I've just learned so much that
I mean, it is very time consuming though. Like bugs way to operate the insect hatching is 100% the correct way to do it. Like, no doubt in my mind. Okay. He's not the first player to tell me that, that's the path. It's just, I feel with all the things that need to be done that I've like so used to, I'm on autopilot on all these things. For me, it's very time consuming. I'm not gonna, like, insects are one of those things, in my opinion, that just let them hatch, whatever. Like, eventually you build up enough and you upgrade the insects as you go along. But it is 100% the correct way to do it. I mean, I am struggling with 100%. Having enough insects to upgrade levels or whatever, and I guarantee you he's able to do it easily.
I have like 5 level 11s.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna be quiet now.
I have 8 level 11s. That's not the issue, but it's the upgrades. It's the keeping the 7s, keeping the 5s, keeping all of your insect upgrades. They're the things that slow kind of us down at this sort of level. You can't upgrade them, otherwise you've got to spend whatever to degenerate them anyway. So,
well, here's going to be the new problem, guys. Okay, like, not that I want to
shit on our parade. Yeah, go
on.
Yeah,
you're gonna need them.
Yeah,
and here's why. Okay, so that even when you hit that 100 level insect, okay, here's where the bad news comes in.
You're going to tell me what level I need now to ascend.
I feel like he's going to say the ascent tree and the advanced talent tree. You're going to need insects for or something. That's
okay,
what I feel
so
like.
so the way this works, once you get that 100 level insect, okay, you have to go through this insect advanced talent, okay, and to upgrade all of these talents, you have to surround that big shell. And all of those little shells, or the little ones, have to surround it completely. Once it's surrounded, you activate that advanced talent that's in the middle. Okay? Those all cost ascent shells. Okay? Once it's activated, then you go back to your insect, and to go from 0 to 1, it costs a level 6 insect. To go from 1 to 2, it costs a level 7 insect. To go from 3 to 4, it's going to be an 8, a 9, a 10, whatever, right? So even after you get that 100 level insect and you're working on this, and what that does is it actually adds ants to your line. So a 100 level insect gives you 120,000 insects per line, or ants per line, okay? But when you go into this insect ascent feature, it adds another 2,400 ants to your line, so 800 per line. Okay?
Nice.
So imagine when you're at level 5, level 6, level 7, you're going to have like 10, 15, 20% more ants than even a player that has 100 level insect. And so it's a lot of material, and people aren't going to blow through it. I think the highest I've seen is someone has it at level 5. Okay, so that means
I think it was the screenshot we put in earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that I actually saw a player bring it to 8. Okay, but they took it back down, because the reason they took it to 8 was because they have, I think, 2 100s and a 98 level insect. So they pulled all the ascent material just to test out the thing, and then they reverted it all back so that they could utilize it back to bring their insects back up. Okay?
Oh my god, that's insane.
It was just for them to test it. So regardless,
there'll be future world problems for definitely me, probably you, Nim, probably you, Jacob, probably 90% of the universe that's in the audience. That's a terrifying future. Thank you for that, Sol.
Yeah. Nah, I just, you always get humbled in this game. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna read. No. The grind will never end. Hoard everything.
For everything.
But
did we get through?
Yeah, I won't see a level 100 insect for a long time.
No, same.
It's, well, to be honest with you, I'm actually very glad that they implemented this new system. If you want the truth, it's very good, because here's the thing, like, what's happening with what will happen is this. Eventually, everyone gets their insect to 100 level, like their main fighting insect. but there's no need to get the other insects up to have multiple fighting units, right? Like you are now in a position where once you get that insect to 100 level, okay, you're focused on that one insect. So you otherwise you're like spending material into a secondary or third insect that is not going to get to 100 any faster, right? I mean, whereas you can improve your main fighting troop. And I think that's kind of how the game should be. Like, you should have one unit that is your main unit, right? And then still the materials that you are gaining naturally, like the ascent material, can now go towards improving that main fighting insect, as opposed to putting it into a secondary unit that you're not even utilizing that much.
Yeah,
if that makes
like
any sense.
about last week, spreading to get through guard levels and things like that. You've done all of that. You're through it all. You can just literally soul focus.
Yeah, I mean, because otherwise, like, what you're taking the extra materials you're naturally earning or whatever, and dumping it into an insect that you're not really utilizing or fighting. You know what I'm saying? Whereas this way, you can focus it all into your main unit and use that material and get an actual benefit of strengthening the main troop that you fight with, right? Because the way season events are designed is, with stamina restrictions, with fungi restrictions, most players are fighting with one unit at a time, sending one unit, because their secondary and third units are going to waste fungi or waste stamina on not being as efficient as your pro unit or whatever.
Well, and then you're not, because with the leveling of your insects, you have to bring your other two up to a certain level before you can get to 100, whereas you won't run into that problem once you have the level 100 insect and you're doing this new tree thing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, it doesn't matter what level of player you are. Like, even if you're the biggest whale, your secondary unit is not going to be as powerful as your first unit, right? So even if you're in a challenging event, it doesn't. Yes, these uber whales are going to be, able to use two units, efficiently, because they're more powerful than your average player, but even they need to conserve during these events. Otherwise they're going to get knocked out of the fight earlier, because it's
still a big difference. Like, even I'm fighting and between his two units, one, just for fun, I tried attacking him solo in a tower. It took me 10 tries to knock him out with one of his units, and then his troop one, it only took me 7. So that's like a 30% difference.
Correct.
In strength.
And he's the top player in the game, right? Like, the strongest statted player in the game. Quite possibly, yeah. So that gives you an idea that 30% drop. So now for him, he can put that material into his pro troop to make it stronger, so he can last longer in fights. But the same thing happens to any other player that gets to 100 level insect. They can focus the materials into their main fighting insect. And for the most part, I mean, that's like, even from like an investment standpoint for a lighter spender or whatever that does get like the insects, if you're a carrier player, you grab this lava scorpion, right? Outside of the uber mega whales that buy everything, like, for the most part, the people that do spend in this game spend in a manner that is geared towards whatever troop type they've decided to go with. And so, like, I always have found it better to, like, just be able to invest the materials into the insect you're going to use the most, that benefit your chosen path, so to say.
I'll be honest, dude, it should be the same approach for everybody. I mean, it's a really, really hard thing to kind of drum into people, but this whole kind of mentality of having 4 okay troops for vanity's sake, realistically, let's be honest, because we do it, we've all done it, early game, even mid game, we've all done it. 4 troops that look great. Realistically, I could honestly care less if my March 1, 2, and 3 looked pretty, had good stuff in it, or whatever. As long as it can hit bugs and I don't have to not use auto hunt or whatever, I'm happy. I would rather shell everything into my pro and then rotate my pro through.
Correct. I mean, and it goes for
March.
everything, right?
Yeah.
It goes for, like ants, right? I mean, like you want to invest your exotic shells into ants that support your march. I mean, they've opened up certain aspects of the game where you might like invest certain stars into other ants so that way you can increase your global stats. But for the most part, like the focus should be on having one it's like you said, it's better to have one very strong unit that you're going to utilize mostly for fighting and everything, and that the second, third, fourth troops are.
Yeah, don't be pushed down the vanity path, guys. It isn't beneficial to anybody at the start of their game. It just isn't.
I noticed that early on. The game rewards very highly the maximum strength rather than averaging your strength out over several units. Like, especially just in groundhog scores early on in the game, I noticed like, wow, you get a lot of rewards for having just one really strong unit. I'm not going to invest in like a second strong unit. So for whether you're in war, whether you're in PvE, like having one optimally strong unit as possible is going to benefit your account the most.
I agree by far. And even when it comes, like you said, to the PvE portion of it, like the way the seasons are designed, it's this game. There's 2 major factors with this game. Number one, it is very, it's like ants in real life, right? It's a colony. So like the number one thing is the team itself, right? Like, you got to work together with your fellow players. You have to work together as a team. That's first and foremost. And then secondly, it's a long haul. This game is a marathon. It is not a sprint. So focusing your early game into one unit and, making it as strong as possible. And it doesn't matter the level of player or spender or anything, whether you're free to play or the top whale. You'll notice that those guys, like the top whales in this game, are focused on one unit firstly, and then maybe they'll build up their secondary ones.
I think the troop boost is kind of pushing us all down that kind of road a little bit now. With the troop boost trees, I know obviously you're up into slightly different ones, but some of us that are still chasing the 84 stars, I think it is kind of pushing us down that road. Once you've hit your max pro, it's pushing us more now to leveling the other troops. But up until that point, I really don't think early to mid game anybody at all should be worrying about anything but their pro, and whether that's for PvE or PvP. You can't waste your early game resources on making all 4 marches look pretty, because that's what it's for. It's to look pretty. Doesn't help you at all, not long term. So anyway, that's my 2 cents worth anyway.
I'm more that picture you posted, Bug, by the way. It's less about Gigafox trying to
oh no, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Yes, you did. And the fact that you're losing ant colonies to your enemies.
Oh, dude, I'm back and forth with them. So I steal 40 of them a day from them.
Okay, look, why have you posted that one where I lost them all rather than the one where I won them all one day before that?
I can't find that. I can't find that one. I don't remember it.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Honestly, your healthy competition has given me life. It is so entertaining.
But this is how we all learn, all of us. Every day is a school day. Like you just said earlier. You come here, you pick up something, and I'm doing the same. And I'm doing it with Bug. I'm doing it with other people in the background. Once you stop, you stagnate. So there's always someone that's higher level. There's always someone that you can learn from. We're all sat here looking at Soul's scary future. But, once you get there, that's your reality. So whatever struggles everyone's going through early game and mid game, we've all done it. It is absolutely normal and absolutely the right path. So we'll always keep learning.
Well, and I think that leads me back to the conversation we were having in the pre-stage meeting about figure out in this game what you want out of it. Because each of us as players are coming into this game and have an idea of what makes us happy and why we continue to log in. For some of us, the people, for some of us, love fighting. There's a variety of reasons, but I think in early game, you don't really understand that yet. And it's like, find what makes you passionate about logging in, and then find a group of like-minded people and cultivate those groups, because that's what keeps me logging in, is that I have a fun core group of people, because there's always going to be the drama or nonsense on the fringes, but not letting that get to you and having a group of people that lets you ride through that stuff keeps you logging in, keeps you having fun. Some of us may never get to the level 100, but I'm okay with that. I'm here for my friends and for talking about random topics on stage and being reminded of how lazy I am. So
and it's exciting. It is exciting. I'll just give a quick shout. There's a guy called Quiet that's in the audience now, and we're speaking in DMs occasionally. This is someone that's early game, I think server 1406, already diving into kind of research, March building, all of the things that we really loved, the things that got us hooked and addicted to this game really, really, ages ago, thinking about it. And it's awesome, seeing people like this coming through, even now, years down the line, that have got the same amount of kind of excitement and passion that we had in the beginning. It actually makes me get out of bed and do this every day. So just don't stop, because we're not stopping either. So love it. Thanks, guys.
I know we went way over, so I just want to tell everybody thank you for hanging out with us. I'm going to ask if anybody has any last minute items they want to cover before we log off this very long, extra long stage today.
No,
I've talked enough. I'm good.
I just want to remind everyone, if you haven't done so already, please go into the live ID portion and put your in-game ID so we can make sure that the fairies reward you guys for joining us today. And we do appreciate all the support, logging in and letting us provide this information to the community. Without you guys, we would definitely not have this ability. So thank you all.
I'm going to add a few other things. We are considering opening up some more random stages. We'll call them kind of coffee stages, where they're not so structured and we can maybe delve deeper into some of the topics instead of doing a 2-hour stage like this. So keep an eye out for those getting organized. Also, I want to remind everybody there is a recruitment channel. So if you are passionate about the game and you see something on the list of recruitments for staff that looks like it might be something you're into, please apply for a position, because it's pretty fun being on stage team, and it doesn't have to be stage, or pretty fun being on staff. It doesn't have to be stage team if that's not what you're into. And I think that's it from me. Anybody else?
All good.
All good here.
Just good luck on your season and have fun.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Thank you for Sub-Zero being in a good mood this week and not trolling every single one of us. Love you, bro.
All right, and thank you again, everybody. Without you guys, we don't have a stage team to have these conversations. So enjoy your Sunday.
See you guys.
All right.
Bye, everybody. Care.